Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Matt. Matt is from Texas in the USA. So let's see what Matt has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Matt. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Enjoying some herbal tea here.
Uh huh.
Usually I'm a big coffee guy, but if I'm going to be like doing a lot of talking or if I'm going to be singing, I usually stick with something like and this is what I usually drink when I'm um like when my voice is going out because I've got this lemon and ginger herbal tea and I sweeten it with honey. It's pretty good.
Wow. I can see by the window that the weather over there is quite good right now. It's beautiful over there.
Yeah, it's clear. It's not a cloud in the sky. It's right now, according to my watch, it says it's 56 degrees out Fahrenheit, which I don't remember the conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius offhand. It has something to do with like 5/4 one way and 4/5 the other way, and then you
Yeah.
add or subtract 32.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest and it is the weirdest conversion ever.
Matt,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Uh, so tell me, where are you from, Matt?
I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Born and
We
raised?
moved, not born. I was born in New Jersey, but we moved here when I was about 4 months old. Dad was in the military, so he got reassigned to Lackland Air Force Base here in 1990. Well, end of '89, because I was born August of '89. So that December, we moved here, and apparently it was a really cold winter for San Antonio. And what my parents had been expecting was just this really nice warm weather, because we do get that in December sometimes, but that wasn't the case this time. So it was still cold, apparently. And so we moved here. Dad served in the Air Force a couple years after that, and then he got out and went back to school. And now he has uh, a good career, place he's been working for probably about 20 years now.
So since you moved from New Jersey to Texas, you've been living your whole life over there.
I've lived in Texas my whole life. I've been all around the country. I've been to all lower 48 states.
Wow.
I spent a few years driving an 18-wheeler, so I went all over. But San Antonio and San Antonio area, because I live a little outside San Antonio now. It's always been home to me.
I see. So when you say that you travel around the 48 states of the US, it's because your job.
Yeah, I used to be a long haul trucker or over the road as it's also called. So I've been in every one of the 48 contiguous US states, everywhere from of course Texas over to California, across to Florida, up to Maine, over to Washington State and everywhere in between.
Wow. And right now, are you still doing the same profession, or you have a different career right now?
No, I gave up trucking back in July.
Hmm.
I was able to retire early, so to speak. I received a settlement from a lawsuit uh, that was because of a trucking accident that I had been in that put me
Oh,
in the hospital. I received a settlement from that, and it gave me the financial cushion I needed to be able to hang the keys up. So now I can go back to school and go on to the next chapter of life and pursue the things that I really love.
amazing. You know what? My dad is a truck driver, and I'm originally from Brazil. And back in Brazil,
Hmm.
I remember seeing my dad like traveling all the time. He didn't travel around the country as you did, but around the state where I come from is quite big, and he was traveling a lot. And I remember like so many good memories of him, and sometimes traveling with him as well. And I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell, regarding all those travels around the US.
I don't have a lot, but I definitely have a couple.
Okay, Matt. So during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your point
Mhm.
of views. Okay.
Sure.
I like your mug.
Thank you. This was a Christmas present. 2022. Um, this was actually in my stocking. My parents had stuck it in there, and it's a very special mug to me. The reason why, my grandfather had a mug exactly like this one. Now this is handmade, and we think that is probably part of a batch that the same person made. These mugs come from Germany. As a matter of fact, there's a maker's mark on the bottom here. I can't really show you without spilling my tea. Spilling the tea. You don't want to literally spill tea, but there's a maker's mark that says West Germany on it.
I
Now,
see.
my grandfather, this is my grandpa on my mom's side. He was a preacher, and he was also in the Air Force, and before he went into ministry. So he was for a time he was stationed in Germany around the Cold War era, and as a matter of fact, that's where my aunt was born. And so he must have gotten that mug there, and he amassed quite the let me put on Do Not Disturb here. So he amassed quite the mug collection. Now, he passed away when I was about 15, like 2 days before Thanksgiving of that year, which for anyone watching this who isn't in the US, Thanksgiving is always the fourth Thursday of the month. In the United States, different in Canada. I think it's in October in Canada. So that was hard, and I was real close with my grandfather. So there's some things that I have that are special to me because I get them from him. One is one of my copies of J.R. Tolkien's The Silmarillion. It was the very last Christmas present I got from my grandparents before Grandpa passed away. I had another mug that I got to choose from his collection when he passed away, which was it was a Swedish mug because I'm also part Swedish,
Mhm.
and it had the Swedish flag on it, various like words in English with their Swedish translations, words like the days of the week, good morning, good evening. And that mug got lost. So when I got this mug in my stocking, I just about broke down in tears because this was one of my favorite mugs that he had, and I just wasn't able to get it. Like, what? I'm 34 now, so almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
So this mug right here is very, very special to me. I don't let anybody else drink out of it except for me.
Amazing. Very good. Thanks for sharing this,
Mhm.
event in your life. I think those things that we have, like could be anything, simple things, things that
Yeah,
we carry like very dear to our heart. And I think those things always gonna bring us to good memories. That's for
yeah.
sure.
We
Should I
always
call
we always need to focus on the good. Always,
Absolutely.
whatever it is, there's always something positive to focus on.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I try to live by is don't forget the bad stuff because the bad stuff happened for a reason and you take
Yep.
what you can from it. But if we're not putting our focus on the positive things, on the good things in life, then we're just going to end up drowning in this sea of despair instead of really keeping our eyes open to, the beautiful things that still exist in life. Because no matter how bad the world gets, there's always going to be something beautiful, always going to be something good that's going to be there specifically to keep us in a good mindset. And the more we keep ourselves in that good mindset, the healthier our minds are, the healthier our bodies are, and the healthier we are emotionally.
Amazing. Very good. Should I call you Matthew or Matt?
Oh, I go by both interchangeably.
Right, so I'm gonna go for Matt then.
Sounds good to me.
Matt, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of
Hmm.
views?
Sure thing. Let's do
Amazing.
it.
Well, welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best
All
friend.
right.
Okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Sounds good.
Amazing. Let's do it. All right. So before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Sounds good.
First question for you is, tough question for you. If someone gave you an envelope with your death date inside of it, would you open it or not, and why?
I wouldn't open it. I wouldn't open it because the date that we die isn't important. What is important is living our lives while we're living them. And if I knew in advance exactly when I was going to die, I I could say with almost 100% certainty that it would affect my decisions in life. The only thing having to do with death that I want affecting my life is the knowledge that I will die someday. The If you ever read Marcus Aurelius, I'm a student of Stoic philosophy. I have been for a few years now. There's a notion of memento mori, which I believe is Latin for something like, reminder of your mortality. Because no matter who you are, every single one of us, every single person in this world is going to die someday.
Mhm.
And that sounds like it's a horrible, terrible thing, like, oh no, it's death. And we certainly don't want to die before our time. And it is tragic when someone passes away, really young. I had a cousin that I lost when he was 15 years old. Um, but the notion that, today I could step out my front door and I could get hit by a bus or, well, really a truck more likely than a bus where I live. The buses don't come out here, but anything could happen. I could have a heart attack. I could fall down the stairs and hit my head just right that I bleed out. You never know what's going to happen. So the important thing is knowing that we're all mortal, and there's going to come a day for each of us when it is going to be our last day. There's going to be a breath I take that will be my last breath, and that's nothing to get sad or upset about. But knowing that, it's good to let that motivate me to live each day as if it were my last, and not this, this YOLO type stuff that 10 years ago when Drake came out with that sound, that song "You Only Live Once," or the song was the motto, it's you only live once. People are using YOLO as an excuse to do some of the stupidest things. Don't be that person. Don't say, "Oh, well, this could be my last day, so I'm just going to do the stupidest thing possible." Don't do that. But for me, living each day like it's my last is I'm I'm going to leave no good thing left unsaid. Whenever I talk to someone I care about, I don't want the last thing I say to them that time to be the last thing I ever say to them.
Nice.
Never going to bed angry, which I'm not always good at. I'm human. I have emotions. I get angry sometimes over things I shouldn't get angry about. I'm working on that. Um, but live each day as if it's your last. And if I know in advance which day is going to be my last day, then I might not make the best choices all the days that are not my last day. And knowing me, the procrastinator that I am, that might not be a good thing. So no, long story short, this is how I come from Celtic people that tell lots of stories. Long story short, I wouldn't open the envelope.
Let's
I'd let
keep
it remain a mystery.
let's keep close. Let's keep close and far away from us.
Exactly. That's information I don't need until the moment.
Next question. Hey, Matt from Texas. Next question is, what do you like the most about yourself?
What do I like the most about myself? I would say what I like the most about myself is my ability to survive,
Mhm.
my ability to get knocked down and get back up again, shake it off, and keep going. Which can sound like a very machismo thing, and it gets used for macho. I don't know if I can swear or not here, but let's just say I don't like macho nonsense.
Mhm.
And so there's, especially, I don't know if this is in other countries as well, but at least in the United States, there's this like pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of thing. And these people that talk like that, they take the notion of self-reliance and take it all the way to the extreme. Something I've noticed is with everything you've got extremes. You've got an extreme one way, extreme the other. In this case, the extreme is don't let anybody help you, be an island, and just help yourself because no one will help you. And the other extreme is do nothing for yourself, get handouts from everybody, um, and just rely on other people. As with almost everything, you got to find that happy medium. So, so you got to be able to accept help from other people when you need the help. Don't be so proud that you're just denying help from everyone, but also don't mooch off people. Don't take advantage. So, the way that I sort of take care of that for myself and take care of myself um, is I make the commitment to myself that I'm going to read things and I'm going to do things that are going to help me grow mentally, but not in such a way that I'm going to be putting other people down. You know, I never want to say or do anything that shames people for who they are or for needing help because I've been that person. Um, but I also want to always be encouraging people to do for yourself what you can do for yourself. And then what you can't do for yourself, don't be ashamed of that. Like accept the help when you need it. But have the learn the discernment to know when you can do it yourself and when you need someone to help you.
Amazing. Okay, perfect. Next question, Matt. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me, like when I was checking your profile, I could see that you posted a lot of pictures with you wearing the kilt, the Scottish, outfit. So tell me,
That's right.
do you have any connection with Scotland? Tell me a little bit about it.
Do I'm actually wearing one of my kilts right now.
Oh wow!
I'm wearing here. I'll show you. I'm wearing. I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm wearing it's a little messy there, but I'm wearing this green one right now. But yeah, so I've got I'm about between 30 and 40% Scots Irish. I have I'm related to Clan MacLeod on my dad's side and Clan MacDonald on my mom's side, and that MacLeod is MacLeod of Lewis because there's different MacLeods, so different regions. Both big Scottish clans, and both clans have in the past waged war against each other. So it's like I've got the Montagues and the Capulets both inside me for all the Shakespeare nerds out there.
Amazing.
And also any Shakespeare nerd is going to be shaking their head because anyone that's read Romeo and Juliet and has a healthy view of how relationships are supposed to be will realize Romeo and Juliet is a toxic relationship. It's horrible. But yeah.
Right.
They're also like 16, but enough of the tangent. But yeah, so I got strong Celtic ancestry, more on the Scottish side than the Irish, although I do have ancestry.com tells me that I have DNA from County Cork in Ireland, so there is that. And I have a couple Irish tartans as well, but I got my solid color utility kilts. I got a couple of tweed kilts, and most of my kilts are different tartans. I've got my clan tartans and then just like universal tartans that are really pretty and I enjoy wearing them.
Amazing. So I would like you to answer the next question with your best Scottish accent, okay?
Oh gosh, I'll try. It'll probably be terrible, so let me apologize in advance. But
It's okay.
I'll certainly give it a shot.
Just look amazing. Okay. Next question is, what will be your ideal day?
The ideal day. Well, wake up in the morning, have make a nice good cup of coffee, come downstairs and open up a book, start reading, go upstairs and my girlfriend's there, my kids are there, and we have a wonderful day together. We, maybe watch a movie on the television or we're reading the books that we enjoy and we're just doing stuff together and maybe I see my parents um and somehow I'm also better at doing accents.
Amazing, amazing. Great, very good. Right, next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question for you is, what makes you really angry?
What makes me angry? Well, I get angry at stupid stuff sometimes. I don't like when people don't know how to drive. I get I get a little bit angry there when someone nearly causes an accident with me, or but on a more serious note, um, I don't like when people mistreat other people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like bullies. I don't like the people being put down, especially for things that don't even hurt anyone. I absolutely abhor it when someone is made to feel horrible for just being themselves. As long as another of my mottos is if it's not hurting anybody, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Now, especially if someone lays a hand on someone who's weaker than themselves, um, whether that's their partner, whether that's a child, whether it's an animal that is entrusted to your care. And I've got, as a pet owner myself and a father, I'm a person, I'm a person dad and a fur dad. um, I don't like it especially when it comes to kids with special needs.
Mm-hmm.
My son is on the autism spectrum, and whenever I hear about, a kid being bullied for being autistic, it's happened to my son.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to him a few years ago, and the only reason that I did not go down to that school, because he was being bullied and the teachers weren't doing anything about it. The only reason I didn't go down to that school and raise hell was because their mother was already taking care of that. But, I don't really care what people do to me. Like, let them think whatever they want to about me. Let them do whatever they want to me. At the end of the day, it's me who decides whether that's going to do me harm or not. I mean, I've been through some stuff. I doubt anybody can hurt me worse than I've already been hurt in the past. And guess what? I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm in a good place mentally. But when it comes to other people, being treated unjustly, whether it's um, someone being shot by a police officer when they were unarmed, especially if they are of a certain skin tone, if it's someone who is being bullied um, because of things about themselves they cannot control, like the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, their gender identity, when people are being put down to the point where they want to end their own lives and it didn't have to get to that point, something's got to give. That makes me angry.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, as you said, I think when somebody or something does, happen to us, somehow we can manage. Yeah, but
Mhm.
however, when they do, not even to people close to us or family members or people that vulnerable people that we don't even know them, but just knowing that they're in a situation that they cannot defend themselves, that's what make us, sometimes, most of the time, angry or just lose our sense and we cannot think straight. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you mentioned that, because I think we need to be more compassionate and understanding as well. And even those
Mhm.
people as well, the bullies or people who do sometimes what they need as well, and maybe a good talk or maybe a good understanding, or maybe listen to them or try to understand
Mhm.
where the anger comes from. And I think
Yeah.
that's a good point as well, to balance and not fight back the same way, and try to understand and try to make peace somehow and put things in a good direction, no, using a a little bit of patience, understanding, compassion as well, and things can get in a better place. That's how I see as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's all healing.
Yeah.
A lot of times the people that are the bullies, that are the abusers, and this is not to make an excuse for someone who's, say, mistreating their spouse, or someone or a kid that's,
Yeah.
verbally or physically beating up on another kid. But a lot of times there are underlying situations that, you can get angry at the action, and you
Yeah.
can still hold a place for the person committing the action in your heart, because a lot of times it's people who just haven't gone through the healing that they need to, and
Yeah.
you still you still keep your distance from those people. Um, but anyone can change, I believe. I used to be not a very good person myself. I had to go through some things. I had to go through some healing, and now the person I was versus the person I am now, night and day.
Yeah, I understand sometimes as well. Sometimes it can come from a bad place, from people reacting, but most of the time we need to understand and try as well. That's how I see. Matt, I have 3 questions left for you. Okay, let's do
Okay.
it. All right, next question is, tell me something funny that made you laugh last time, something that you couldn't stop laughing.
Something that was funny that made me laugh. Well, um, I love the dad jokes. I've loved them ever since before they were called dad jokes. I just love I love just a good stupid pun, um for instance, what kind of tree can you hold in your hand? A palm tree. Um but I love it's funny because my sense of humor is equal parts dad joke, um dark humor,
Mhm.
especially laughing at myself. And just I like watching stupid animal videos where, a dog or a cat is being very silly, and it's very funny to watch. Like, I, s- I saw a video where what was it? I think it was a bulldog was like sniffing through the trash and got its head like stuck in the lid, and then like looks up and this lid's just just around his face. Um, and then just stuff I've done in the past. Like, there was one time I tripped over a pair of shorts while I was wearing them, for instance.
Wow.
My and now that I said that, I'm gonna have to tell the story.
Yeah.
Is the house I grew up in with my parents had it was a 4-bedroom house, but one of the bedrooms was a converted garage, and that was my bedroom. So to get to my bedroom, you had to walk through the laundry room into my bedroom. And there was like a little sort of ledge where it went down because, again, converted garage. And I was wearing these sort of baggy shorts that the hem was like right below the knee. And I always had to like step over like a laundry basket to get in. So I stepped over it, and my big toe caught in the hem of my shorts. I just went sprawling, spread eagle onto my bedroom floor. I was fine. Like, I didn't break anything or really hurt myself, but it was the time I tripped over my own shorts while I was wearing them.
Those oops moments. Oops.
Yep. Yep. It's all about those small moments, you know. You
Absolutely.
gotta be able to laugh at yourself, because life is funny.
Yeah.
Life's got a sense of humor. And sometimes that sense of humor is gonna be at your expense. And if you don't learn to laugh at yourself, you're you're not gonna have a good time of it.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Right. Before the next question, as you mentioned about being a dad, what's the best part of being a dad?
Oh man, watching him grow, it's really something. You know, my daughter, for instance, my daughter's now 9, and I remember the day that she was born, the day, the time, the very first time that I held her. And you don't know true love until you're holding your own child for the first time. And once I held that tiny little newborn baby in my arms, really my hand because she was so small, like her little finger wrapped around mine, I knew I was going to be wrapped around hers for the rest of her life. And just seeing this little baby, grow, and now she reads and she's developed her own interests, and she's going to be 10 this year. We're
Wow.
almost halfway to her birthday. And now, and knowing that she'll be driving in a few years, and she's halfway to being a legal adult here in the US, and it's so fast, you blink and you'll miss it. There's a there's a song by Kenny Chesney, who, for anyone who isn't aware, is an American country singer. He's got a song he released a while back called "Don't Blink," and the whole song is about he's talking to this man who's just turned 100, or he's seeing this man interviewed on the news, and they're asking him, "What's your advice?" And he's like, "Don't blink because life goes by so fast. You just take a nap, and 30 years have gone by." Um, and it's so true. Kids grow so fast, and you just don't miss more than you have to. And as you asked me what my favorite thing about it was, is yeah, just seeing them grow, seeing them develop, um, and develop their own interests. And you can see what they have in common with you and what they don't. And frankly, it's all pretty amazing, and just a wonderful part of this person that, if they're your biological child, that you had a hand in helping create. If they're not, that you got the opportunity to become their parent. It's
Wow.
really something.
Amazing. Very good. Next question is, who is the most influential person in your life?
Um, would that be person currently living or historical figure?
What comes to your mind when you think about someone very influential in your life?
Well, my dad's a big one.
Hmm.
Of course, he's not a perfect person. Nobody is. But my dad is probably one of the best men that you'd ever meet. For one thing, the way that he is with my mother, they'll be celebrating, was it about, I think they're celebrating 37 years of marriage this year.
Wow.
They got married after 5 months of being together, which
Beautiful.
it's usually a bad idea to get married that quickly, but it wasn't for them. They were perfect for each other. And the one thing that's inspiring in that regard for me with my dad, and really with my parents, is, it's been 36 and a half years at this point, but nobody's perfect, and they've had their fights, and they've had their low points. But to them, divorce was never an option. And now to just decide divorce is never going to be an option in any relationship, obviously isn't always, the way. If your partner's mistreating you, and you know
Yeah,
and it doesn't get better if try to resolve it, then obviously leave the relationship.
of course.
um take care of your happiness. It's important. um but even through the highs and the lows, medical issues that my mom's had, um emotional stuff and all that, is they've always it hasn't been her going through it and he's just along. It's they're going together. is them always together. And, when you marry someone, you make the vow for better or for worse, and you do whatever you can to hold that up. In most cases, again, the for worse might actually be something that you shouldn't stay with. But most relationships aren't abusive relationships. Um, and, you know, he's really showed up for her when she needed him to. And yeah, and spiritually as well. His, you know, as in matters of like faith and spirituality. Um, my dad has always been a trusted voice. He's never given me bad advice. As a matter of fact, the times he's given me advice and I haven't taken the advice have usually turned out to be I should have taken the advice. So a lot of wisdom in that man, a lot of love, a lot of acceptance of people. Yeah, my dad's a great man.
Yeah, I can see him right now watching this interview and smiling with your beautiful words, for sure. Wow, great. Ready for the last question, Matt?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Last one. Right, but before the last question, as the beginning of the interview, you mentioned about your travels around the U.S., so all the states. If you can share a moment or a situation that you're never gonna forget, that you're gonna go like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened, or something that's always gonna have a special place in your heart, on your memory, something that you could share through your career.
Well, I'd say the thing that sticks out to me the most in my mind about my life as, an over-the-road truck driver was the accident or the crash that I was in. I was in August of 2021. I was involved in a head-on collision. Me and another 18-wheeler. The other truck came over into my lane. It was a two-lane highway in Colorado. Came over into my lane, hit me head on, and then there was another truck that was behind me that ran into the back of me because I don't know, he was probably following too close or something. But it put me in the hospital in Colorado Springs for about 6 days. And then I had to fly home. I was off the road for almost a year because of that. And that's what the lawsuit was over. And now that it's all over, I can talk about it. It was pretty bad. I had multiple broken bones. My left ankle and lower leg, my left hip socket. Like my lower leg was completely shattered. The fibula and tibia, or is it tibia and fibia? I can't remember which is which, but they were shattered, like pieces of bone in there. My left pelvis was cracked at the hip. My right wrist here was fractured in two places. My left knee got cut open down to the bone. I had cuts and scratches and scrapes all over my head. I had a hole in my lip that I bit through. It was bad. I wasn't able to walk unassisted or even stand unassisted for about 3 months. And then when I walked, I had to use like a walker and a walking stick, while it healed up. And like certainly the most memorable thing for sure. Um, but and it sucked that it happened, but the good thing about it happening was I had to learn how to let go of my pride and kind of let others do things for me a little bit more. Because then, when you have no choice, you have no choice. When you can't bathe yourself, when you can't, cut up your own food, because I'm right-handed and it was my right wrist that was injured. You when you can't even shave or um dress yourself and you got to get someone to help with that, it's very humbling. And you learn how to accept help from others real quick because you got no alternative.
Wow.
So it's I if I could learn those lessons any other way, I definitely would because I'll always have a bad ankle for the rest of my life. You know, I'll always have not constant hip pain, but I have hip pain sometimes, knee pain sometimes.
Mhm,
My knees like to go clicky clacky sometimes,
mhm.
but in the end, what matters more is what's in here rather than what's on the outside. And that for me is more valuable because I can still enjoy my life. I can still, I'm not, it's not so bad that I, you know, can't do most things that I like to do. There's just some things that I got to be more limited on. But it's a valuable lesson, and it's worth the price that I pay for it.
Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing this event in your life. I'm sure it's not easy to talk about. I'm sure now because you are in a different moment in your life, you can talk, you can share, and you never know. You never know. Maybe someone watched this interview. Maybe is facing a situation that it happened to you at the time, or maybe a friend or a family member or something, and just seeing someone talking so open about it and well recovered as well. I think it's about healing and helping as well. So thanks so much for sharing this event. Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure.
Last question is, if you could be a character in a movie, who that would be and why?
If I could be a character in a movie, who would that be? Well, most of the movies and TV shows I like, I wouldn't want to be a main character in because they go through some rough stuff. But if I were to be a background character in a movie, I mean, I would honestly, I would love to be like a background character in like maybe an episode of Supernatural
Uh-huh.
or maybe maybe a character in like I don't know, like The Office. Like I would probably be I'd probably be like I've had people tell me that I'm totally Dwight or that I'm totally Andy. I would want to be Jim though, in The Office. Um, I think, yeah, I mean, I'm watching the Percy Jackson series right now as the new episodes come out, and I'm a huge fan of the books. I'm very happy with the series, and I've been watching the Reacher series as well. And the character of Jack Reacher is someone that I feel similarities to. I probably would be him, except he's taller than me and he's bigger than me, and he I he could beat probably anyone in a brawl. I could beat some people, but probably not just anyone. Some people would, would yeah, kick me into dust.
Amazing.
um I don't know, just a character in like some comedy where, you know, their lives don't suck all the time. You know, probably Jim from The Office.
Amazing. Okay. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay. I'm going to give away some words. Just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay. Let's start with religion.
Christian.
Fear.
Heights.
Money.
Some.
One word for love.
Amor.
Life.
Death.
Family.
Man.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Ew.
I had an interview actually yesterday with someone said the same thing as well. Ew. One.
Hate politics. I hate that it's a necessity. Just ugh. Too many
Friend,
selfish people.
friendship.
Endures.
Desire.
Want.
Regrets.
Many.
Success.
Great.
Wish.
Dream.
Happiness.
Always.
One word for Texas.
Big.
One word for USA.
Big.
Bigger. And the last one now, truck driver. One word.
Me.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your dad for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your dad, what is the most beautiful thing about Matt, and what's something that he still needs to work on to improve on? What he would say?
I think he would say something good about me would probably be um I guess my open-mindedness to um people different from myself, and probably something for me to work on would be just my my financial responsibility. I'm better with that, but I still make just the impulse purchases. I'm still, they're more reined in than they were, but I still need to keep on reining them in.
Let's play now Matt and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Right? You can ask me a question now, Matt.
All right. Question for you. What is your favorite thing about doing these interviews?
Wow, that's a big question. Very big question. You know what, Matt? I think I could tell you so many feelings about connecting with people around the globe and see themselves like express the way they are, sharing memories, sharing stories, connect with other people as well. But I'm gonna be very one of the moments for me that um, you know. Uh, when I start contacting, for example, the same way I remember the day when I contacted you. I was going to the gym, was very early morning here in England, in London, and I was seeing some profile, and I remember your profile come along, and I invited you. So for me, at this moment when our connection started, yeah, the moment when you reply back, the moment we've been trying during the interview, all of these, interaction for me, I'm already happy. I'm already feeling the vibe of my guest. I'm already feeling the interview coming through like soon, the connection. However, the moment for me when my body and my emotions starts like feeling is the moment where I send the invite, and when I see here coming through that you accept my invitation, and when I click here, let's enter the room, and when I see my guest for the very first time here, trust me, that's the moment that I like the most, because when I see my guest for the first time, it's someone that I never met before. It's someone in another part of the world, or could be closer as well. But at the same time, we are here, making memories. It's a moment since we start talking. It's a moment when we start, create something that is meant to happen. We meant to happen this interview today at this moment. We meant to have this weather behind you. I can see this beautiful weather behind you. I can see sometimes cars passing by. So all of those, moments that we are having, another car just passed now.
Yeah.
so all, so all those moments that all those the interaction we are having right now, for some reason, one reason or another, we meant to be here. We meant to have this moment now. So for me, Matt, all of this for me, it was the enjoying the most. It's about connect with someone that for some reason meant to be on the show, for some reason meant to be here with me, for some reason meant to share stories. And I think all of that is something very powerful and beautiful, because you were talking about your daughter now, is going to be 10 years old. Imagine she watches this interview, I don't know, maybe in 20 years time or in 10 years time, she's going to go like, Dad, look at you there talking with William about this topic. So all those things that I could go on and on and on, because when we are sharing a moment like that, I think it's powerful. It meant to happen for some reason. So imagine for me, like, be able to connect with so many people around the globe, and having a moment where this interview, could go so many different directions. Even if strangers as well watch this interview, they might appreciate about any topic we talk about it, or maybe anything that they're gonna go like, okay, you know what? It's nice to see Matt talking about that. Maybe I faced that before. Or maybe I'm an adventure. I had a truck, incident or anything, something positive as well. Could be anything. So yeah, back to your question. I think for me, what I like the most about the whole interview, it's about connect with my guest for the very first time, and knowing that here, it's just memories making right now. So yeah, that's what I like the most.
Well, that's a pretty good answer, I'd say.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so
Of course.
so kind and sharing your memories. And before you go, Matt, would you like to promote anything about your life right now? Something that I remember. I think you're saying about a podcast as well. If you would
Mhm.
like to talk about anything or to promote anything, please feel free right now to connect with people right now.
Sure. Well, I've got uh, my TikTok and Instagram. It's Matthew the Red. I think Instagram has the dots and TikTok. Yeah, so Instagram is Matthew dot the dot red. TikTok no dots, one string Matthew the Red. Um, yeah, I'm working on starting a podcast.
Mhm.
I'm trying to schedule like the Zoom recordings now. It's the podcast is going to be called Before the Mouse, and it's about Disney movies and the stories that they're based on. So that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, it's going to be good. Uh,
Amazing.
don't know when episodes will be live, but probably at least March of 2024, in case people are watching this 10 years in the future. Hey, if you're
I
watching this 10 years in the future, and you can find a way to time travel, just let me know if it's good.
I used to work for Disney World actually. I used to work for Disney
Oh
Cruise
yeah.
Line. Yeah, Disney Dream a few years ago, and was one of the best experience I ever had in my life. My goodness, what a experience. Before you go, Matt, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Sure. So to anyone watching, don't allow unnecessary negativity into your life. I'm not going to say you can do anything you put your mind into because that's kind of a blanket statement, but whatever you're passionate about, focus on that and go for that. Make that your goal. And almost anything that you're passionate about, there will be a way to find a career that has to do with that. And and like they say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Amazing. I like that. Thanks so much. Regards to your family, to your friends, and we keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay, Matt. Take care. Okay.
Absolutely.
Bye bye.
See
Take
ya.
care. Bye.
You too.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.